life comes in ebbs and flows, and there's different seasons that you will encounter. And one of the biggest things that you'll see and that you'll experience is a storm. But what a lot of people fail to see is the calm before a storm. You see, it's so nice and so tranquil that you don't pay any attention to it. You don't pay any mind to that tranquility that you're seeing, the peace that you feel, how everything is just going well, everything is abundant, but it's an indicator of what is to come. And what is to come is a storm unlike any other. Storms can be positive, storms can be negative, but your actions and your mindset is going to determine what you get out of the storm. Use those moments of calm to prepare you to weather the storm.
Now, especially here in Texas, this is very prevalent. People would love some rain. It's hot as hell here. You know, getting in the hundreds. We might even get into like the 110s, especially as we get closer to August and whatnot. So people are like, man, I wish we had some rain. I wish we just had a good storm that would come through and all that, right? And a couple days ago, it rained in the morning. However, if you were caught in that rain, you did not have a fun time. It was to the point where you could barely see in front of you. People got in accidents. Some things flooded potentially. You know, the things that comes with very, very hard rain. However, people ask for that rain. And those are the same people that once they ask for it and they get what they asked for and it doesn't happen exactly how they want it to happen, those are the same people that will be upset. Why are they upset? Because the thing that they asked for, the thing that they were hoping and wishing for, wasn't exactly how they expected. It was more intense. It lasted longer than they expected. It brought more mosquitoes, you know, the whole nine. So to that, I have to say, be careful what you wish for. Because a lot of people wish for rain. A lot of people want a storm. They want an abundance of something, whether it's an abundance of rain, an abundance of friends, an abundance of wealth, power. They want that in abundance. But before you get it, you have all these nice, vivid ideas of what that life would be like once you have it. You know, the things that you'll be able to do, the people that you'll be able to connect with and have in your circle. And it's a little quiet up until that point once you actually get it. If you're working, you'll actually get it. It's quiet. It's not a lot of things bothering you. Or even if you do think there's a lot of things bothering you, it's not as much as what you will soon encounter. And on that pathway up, people don't realize that the thing that you wish for, more often than not, is really never going to be how you expect it to be. And that's why you have to cherish the times that you do have. I don't want to say live too much in the moment, because you have to focus on the future if you're trying to go somewhere and if you're trying to do a lot of things. Live in the moment, but also you have to keep your eyes out on what's to come. But if you really take the moment in that you have right now and appreciate the little things that you're able to do, like us being able to sit and watch some anime, you know, which we haven't done in a long time because we haven't had the fucking time to do so. Us being able to sit and try some wine or something, smoke with a friend, do some video shoots, you know, just things of that nature that we're able to do and appreciate in the moment, because things might be moving a little slow to our liking, not to most people's liking, but to our liking. However, I found myself asking for more things, more events, more sales, all that shit. However, we've been planting the seed. week after week after week after week. And things have been happening. We've had events and whatnot, but we've gotten to the point to where we've planted so many seeds. Now it's time for them to grow and sprout, but it takes a little time. It takes a little time. However, why am I saying that all the time? But when you realize that once you plant those trees, those leaves, all those things, you think it's going to be such a good idea for you to have a fucking garden with these plants. Then they actually fucking sprout. It's like, oh shit, I have to take care of this. I have to make sure all these are in place. Water this, take care of this. Oh, this one has a disease or a virus. So I have to take care of that. That's so much shit that you have to deal with once those things actually sprout. Things that you didn't realize, things that you might have said, oh, I'll deal with that when I get there, you know? But it's going to be a lot harder once that shit actually fucking gets there. So you really have to take the time that you have and cherish it, because those times will soon be over and that storm will be at your front door. And if you don't realize what's on the horizon, what's to come, and prepare for it, the storm will take you by surprise and it could demolish you. And you don't want to face that. You want to be prepared. You want to stay ready. And how you stay ready is to consistently keep your head down, do the work, no matter if there's a storm, no matter if it's shining outside, no matter if it's windy, no matter if it's a little, hazy, no matter what, you keep your head down and do the work. And if you do that, the storm, the things that you encounter won't matter.
DM clip art. No, I'm kidding. You can tell he's very passionate about this topic, and rightfully so, because we are currently in the calm before the storm, as you mentioned, Austin. Now, I want to make something clear. A storm is designed to make you stronger. Whether you survive the storm or not, that's another detail. Let's assume that you are going to survive the storm. However, I would argue that a good storm is one that you don't know whether or not you will survive. Now, a storm will take the perspective of a plant, since you mentioned planting the seed. A storm includes rain, lightning, high-speed winds, or whatever it might bring. Floods, you name it. So a plant that gets heavy rain, what happens is the leaves are going to be bent down. So the plant is going to have to strengthen its leaves so that they don't fold and that they don't break and they don't snap. The wind is going to put pressure on not just the limbs of the tree, but also the stem of the tree or the plant, which is going to cause the actual stem to become stronger or less flexible depending on the species of the plant. Then you're going to have drought and intense sunlight, which is a different type of storm, I would argue, which is going to cause the plant to increase the thickness of the xylem, which is essentially the veins, and also it's going to cause it to retain more water, so it's going to have to adapt to those conditions. Now, all things considered, the plants that survive these storms or extreme circumstances almost always will live longer and have certain characteristics that other plants do not have. They weathered the storm and they unlocked a new capability, a new capacity, a new meaning within the local community, we'll say, or ecosystem. I've given this example before on the podcast. A cedar tree versus an oak tree. A cedar tree grows fast, but it's a softwood tree that breaks easily and is not a good wood when it comes to building things that require hard wood, like a table. Now, an oak tree takes forever to grow. However, it's a hardwood tree. They grow huge, they live longer, and they provide so much more for the ecosystem. The oak tree provides shade for other plants. The oak tree provides housing for birds, insects, squirrels, and other animals. The oak tree is what survives the storm. The oak tree is what has more value than a cedar tree. And not only that, The oak tree is not an invasive species, but a cedar tree is. And this is also a fun fact, Austin. Oak trees are notorious for a lack of germination in the seeds. That's why they have so many acorns falling, which means not all oak trees even come to exist. So the batting average is very, very low, but the ones that actually stick grow to be tall and strong. What does this all mean, Jose? Why won't you shut the fuck up? Well, it's very simple, guys and gals, or whatever you choose to identify as. There's very few people who will weather the storm, and there's very few people who are built to last extraneous conditions that are extremely difficult and come out on the other side and provide something positive for their local community or ecosystem in which they inhabit. It's not made for everybody, and not all tasks are built equal. Ashley Kane, for example, is about to finish a 75-day Ultraman, right? 75 days. Today or tomorrow is his last day.
Tomorrow.
He will be the first human to ever complete the feat that he's completing. Let's not even talk about the rest of Ashley Kane's life. That alone is an incredible storm that he is weathering and that he has willingly put himself through. Not everybody can do that. Perhaps it's mental, perhaps it's physical. But every single day that he completes a task, he achieves a new level, a new strength. He gets a new component of his character that he previously was not aware of. All of this is to say, you have to endure the storm if you want to become stronger. But are you preparing yourself for the storm? Are you making sure that while other people are sitting on their laurels, you know that things are going to go south? When the economy is doing well, shouldn't you be preparing for a recession? Shouldn't you be preparing to outpace inflation? Shouldn't you be preparing for some type of crash? When everybody else is relaxing, you should be panicking. And when everybody is panicking, you should be relaxing.
And you know how that you can practice and prepare for the storm? In my opinion, the best way to do so is to train or practice in similar conditions on where you intend to be. Whether that's a literal storm, whether that's training for future success in public speaking, in athletics, whatever you want to fucking do, you train in what you believe to be similar conditions so that once you get to that experience, it's not catching you completely off guard. Now, of course, can you simulate something just 100% to the level of what you intend on experiencing, especially if you don't know exactly how it's going to go? Probably not. But if you prepare somewhat beforehand, if the conditions are somewhat even similar, just 50% or above, shit, to me, you're more prepared than most people getting into a new circumstance, which allows you to capitalize on that circumstance more than other people. So just think of it this way. And I mentioned sports, so I'll use that as an example. If you have a sporting event that you're competing in Colorado, for instance, higher altitudes, it would behoove you if you practice in that environment, but say you couldn't get to Colorado before the event, it will behoove you to practice using potentially a device which would kind of let you experience similar conditions with oxygen levels to Colorado, where you have less oxygen to be able to utilize for your body to be able to do certain things. So if you trained with that device before you went to Colorado, you're getting your body ready for the environment, climate, and conditions that you will be experiencing for that event. For us, we traveled to Colorado some years back, and we thought that we could just go out there and just, have a blast and do whatever. The altitude wasn't going to affect us or whatever. And initially, not so much. We hit a hard workout, really hard workout, then started drinking. And then, man, when I tell you I was cramping all over my body horrendously, That altitude fucked me up. So what I should have done was prepared somehow, some way before going up there, taking all the necessary precautions in order to go up there and do what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it, and not experience these things. And of course, Jose's like, oh, you should blah, blah, blah. But I should have done all of that. And then I would have been able to perform better, be better, and my body would have been better when I was up there. So if you take this example of sports and of us traveling to Colorado and whatnot and apply it to whatever you want to apply it to, it's the same principle. If you want to get better at public speaking because you know that something that you're going to do in the future requires you to be able to speak pretty well, I would say do something somewhat similar so you can kind of experience those things. I know it would be on a smaller scale because maybe you're not talking to the CEO of a company yet. However, talk to someone that is still in somewhat level or shape or form above you so you have that practice. If you know a principal of a school, get comfortable talking to them about certain things. Get comfortable talking to someone that you don't know about certain things. Get comfortable talking to girls about things. Because though it may not be the exact same, you're still placing yourself in a position of uncomfortability where you have to speak with all the prior knowledge that you have and make it sound like it's somewhat digestible for the other person, to where you sound intelligent, to where they'll be able to receive it so that they may be able to do something with you in the future. That's your goal with a girl or a guy or whatever you like, right? Same thing applies to if you're trying to handle a business deal. You have to speak well because you're trying to do a nice tango, a nice dance of making sure that they understand what you're trying to sell. They want to partner with you because they like what you're saying, and then you can do business in the future. Just like setting up a date in the future, except in this example, you're getting money. So if you can practice these things on a smaller scale, do so. Because when that storm comes, when that opportunity comes, when that meeting comes, you'll have something to work with there. You're not coming from a standpoint of, I'm completely green. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. I'm nervous as fuck. No, you're not going to be as nervous, or you're not going to be as green because you've already experienced it to a smaller degree, or you've already experienced it multiple times before, to where you've done this 200 fucking times with however many people down the street. You talking to another girl or you talking to another CEO is not going to affect you at all because you've done it. And Jose's experienced this multiple times now, where it's like, okay, I've talked to so many people, me talking to this person that everybody reveres is nothing. Why? Because I do this every fucking day. So the more that you do this, the more that you practice, the more that you get in those reps in a storm, the more you train in storm-like climates and conditions, the more you'll be adept to conquer the storm and fight through the storm when it appears, while everyone else is huddling around and trying to figure out, okay, what the fuck am I going to do? I don't know.
You just got to roll with the punches. Is there like a rolling thunder or like a rolling lightning in an anime or something? I feel like there is.
In an anime,
like some character that likes making lame names for moves or something. He's like rolling thunder or some shit. Oh, I think that was Asta making stupid names, and what's her face with the cat was like, you're an idiot.
You sure about that?
I think so.
I don't know.
Somebody did it. But anyways, the AM Club podcast.
Sign it out. Fuck it.
Mic check. The AM Club podcast.